Hi and welcome back to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗀𝗀. Today guys, we are jumping down into the charts and taking a look at the price action of ADA, what's been going on most recently and what we would expect to happen next. As we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗀. In the description down below you will find links to our Discord server. Why not jump on down there and join the community? We are always active in Discord. You can ask us various different questions. We do additional technical analysis, etc. Also in the description below you will find links to our Patreon service if you're looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, whether you're talking about strategies, exit plans, accumulation in bear markets, all that kind of good stuff, then check out the Patreon service as well. Right, with all that said, done, and out of the way, let's jump on down into the charts and take a look at what is going on here with Cardano. Okay guys, so we're going to start things off with the weekly view and then build up from there. So really want to kind of talk about what's going on here. Obviously we had our low point, then we saw a bit of a run to the upside here. Now this is very choppy, and then we can see that this potential wave actually isn't complete until this lower point here. So although we have this ABC, we're going to measure that out for starters so we can get a good starting position for ourselves. Okay, so we're going to just grab our fib, we're going to move this over, so just taking that A wave, move it over to the B wave, and we can see that this area right here is the 1-to-1 ratio. This is where we're expecting a reversal. We did see that reversal, but it didn't go higher than wave B here. So this actually now looks like it isn't the bottom. And when we actually start to see this move, this actually comes down to the 1.382. And so I'm going to grab hold of that and we're going to pull that down into this range just here. Now this basically is an impulsive trigger, right? If we go past that 1.382, this has actually triggered us with a much bigger wave to the upside, actually going higher than our first A wave, right? This is a really good and important thing to remember. Okay, so this is not impulsive. It was almost impulsive down, but we've managed to avoid it. This now basically means that we're starting a new wave count. Okay, so I'm going to remove that and we can leave the ABC there. Okay, so we had that short-term corrective action down to the downside, very dangerous time, almost went into the place of, impulsion to the downside. But we started to see this really good run to the upside. Now in here, there's a mix of different ways to kind of count this, but it's looking very, very impulsive by its nature, right? This move from, where is that, $1.07 through to that high point just up here, about 135. Okay, so this is actually looking very, very good, okay, in terms of how that actually formed out. Now, what we can do is we can take our impulsive move here and we can actually go ahead with wave 1, wave 2. That's very, very clear. And what becomes unclear is where this wave 3 starts, or stops, I should say, and where wave 4 comes in. I'm going to pop it there. I don't think it matters at this point, because we can see the next step down. And this is actually looking quite interesting, okay? And again, with very similar situations to what we had over here with this C wave. This actually looked like an ABC to start with. This was coming in just on here. So we had that A, the B, and the C, and then we had this push up. Now there's no clear waves inside here on the hourly, and we pulled back down lower than the previous C wave. So this is actually now looking more and more like that this whole move here is an A, this is a B, and we're looking for that downside on a C. Now, this is really important that we understand that move, okay? Because as we go ahead and measure this out, we'll grab hold of that low point here, okay? Before we had that push to the upside, we'll grab that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move this down into the top of that B wave there. And we can see that $1.17.8 is the area that we are looking for a C wave correction down to. So I'll quickly mark that up here, just below the support level of 119. Okay, we'll remove that fib for a second. Now this is important. I'm going to quickly just mark this up. So let me just mark that with an A, that with a B, and this is our expected C wave. Now, if this entire 5 waves here was to be considered an A wave on a larger time frame, like so, then this might actually be considered a B wave. Okay, and then obviously we have a much larger C wave to the upside. Now, I think this is very, very likely. And the reason I think this is if we actually grab hold of this A wave or this impulsive 5-wave count, and we take this to the downside over here, so we have the fib running from 0 through to 1, and then we go ahead and actually, let me invert that for a second. So let me actually do it the other way around. So from the bottom to the top, there we go. And what do we see? Well, we can see here that our B wave coming down to that $1.17.4 with a 618 correction of 17.2. This means that our B wave is usually pretty aligned to where we would normally expect to see a B wave correction. Obviously, there's no guarantee of it, but it's, you know, it's the area that's the most probable. Okay, so as we see this come down, we can see that ABC correction also is very much aligned to this being an A wave with a B wave down and then progressing to the upside. Now, if we take hold of this fib and we go ahead and put it over on top of there, so we'll take the lower end here, so we'll take that 17.2 cent zone, then we can see that C wave actually riding out right up into that resistance line here of $1.45.4. Okay, right up there. Okay, so then basically we are looking for one last leg down before we start to see good traction to the upside. Obviously, there's no guarantee of coming down, you know, to this point. Looking at the stochastic RSI, we would expect to see that there's going to be a wave count inside here that's usually an ABC. So we expect a small push to the upside and then a pull back. Okay, that would be very much aligned. So we do expect things to move up, then pull back down, okay, into this lower range here of around $1.17. Potentially lower, but that's the most probable area. And then we start to see good traction to the upside. Obviously, depending on where this B wave actually ends and that C wave actually ends, will depend on where we put this fib. Okay, if we go down lower, then our target is actually lower at the top. And if we don't come down for a deep correction like we have previously, let me just remove that back, grab hold of this fib for a second. If we actually only, you know, come down maybe to this area, then of course we move up higher, right? It might be $1.48, for example. But we're going to lean on the side of caution here and just say that's the most probable area that we look for pullback on. And therefore, we look at $1.45 as a potential top for our C wave up. Okay, going higher obviously would indicate that we are going impulsive and so forth, but this is the most probable space for the fall to the downside with a B and a C here. This is the most probable, and our C wave, this is the most probable. Okay, so from thinking about, you know, trying to predict the market of where things are going on the smaller time frame, what we're looking at here is a pullback down to 117 and then a push up to 145. Okay, so obviously if you're, you know, a trader, then you might be looking, hey, this is a fantastic buy and this is a fantastic sell, right? And of course, manage your risk accordingly. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but do pay attention to kind of what's going on in the space. Now, obviously, this is a smaller time frame, lots of volatility, lots of things going on, lots of noise. But what about the large time frames? Obviously, for Cardano, there's interesting things that are occurring. We obviously have the kind of triangular wedge that's been forming out here on Cardano on the daily chart. Nothing really has changed with this too much. We did obviously wick down a little bit lower on the smaller time frame down here. But again, we can just adjust this and we're still well within the right realm of a triangular wedge. We haven't kind of invalidated that in any way. It is basically just 2 touch points to the upside and 2 touch points to the downside, basically on the descending and ascending trend lines. So that hasn't really changed. We're still quite within this grasp. And of course, we are still tracking, you know, a push to the upside overall. And again, you can kind of see this inside our daily here. We had the push down, we had the C wave low that we're expecting, or the B wave that we're expecting here, and then obviously that push to 145. This is very much aligned to what is going on the daily. So obviously, as we were analyzing the hourly, we can see those bigger moves, those bigger pieces of analysis inside our charts. Okay, so as we start to go and build this up, we can start to make a lot more sense of what's going on, building it from bottom up, right? So right now we know that there's a lot of stuff kind of going on, lots of noise in the smaller time frames, but all of that noise adds up to what is going on here with our daily. So again, we've got lots of room to grow. And ultimately, there's nothing too concerning about this. We are expecting big things for Cardano in 2022. So this is just the beginning. So do watch out for things that might change, but we are looking for some upside right now. Now, obviously, that stochastic RSI here on our daily needs to come down. We're heading up to the overbought area, again, in line with our expectation of pulling down from our 124 at the point of recording this video down to that 117. So again, very much supporting that move, right? So we are looking for small hourly push up and then a slightly larger time frame pull down, and then of course as we build that up into our weekly, we can see that we are looking for the birth of a brand new trend to the upside, heavily oversold on our weekly stochastic RSI. And, this is something that takes several weeks to months to play out. But we are looking at some really interesting stuff kind of going on here for Cardano as we look to build this out over time with some good kind of traction to the upside. So right now, obviously looking at some interesting zones, lots to kind of watch out for here, but for now, not too much to really report on the weekly. Most of the kind of stuff that's going on right now is on the hourly and the daily. That's really kind of where the trading is kind of going on, and we're still waiting for confirmation of what this trend is looking like for Cardano on the larger timeframes. But I really wanted to get this video out there to say that, look, it looks like we are likely to have a pullback. That's going to be an opportunity because it's a B wave low with a C wave high that comes afterwards. Yeah, be aware that, you know, expect some volatility in the market as Bitcoin looks to also have a bit of a correction, and do expect Cardano to also follow suit. And obviously that triggers some opportunities. So guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this video useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.